What if the safest place on Earth suddenly became the deadliest? Imagine waking up and discovering that every ocean has vanished and every city is now underwater. Sounds impossible, but what happens next is even harder to believe. In a single moment, water and land switch places. The Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans become endless barren wastelands. Meanwhile, New York, Paris, London, and Tokyo disappear beneath colossal walls of water. And this is where it gets weird. People sailing peacefully across the ocean don't float upward. They plunge downward into a newly exposed abyss as the seafloor becomes dry land. Cities drown. Oceans vanish. The planet transforms overnight. But here's the strange part. The flooding isn't the biggest problem. Earth's entire climate system immediately breaks. Ocean currents that regulate temperatures disappear. Weather patterns collapse. Rainfall becomes unpredictable. Regions that once thrived become hostile deserts almost overnight. The question is, could humanity stop this disaster if we knew it was coming? You'd think the answer would be yes. After all, we already know rising seas threaten many major cities today. Scientists have warned us for decades. Yet action remains slow, fragmented, and controversial. And that reveals something unsettling. Even when humanity sees danger approaching, we often struggle to respond until it's directly in front of us. But that's not even the craziest part. As the water settles into its new geography, Earth becomes almost unrecognizable. Only 21% of the planet remains covered by water. The remaining 79% becomes one enormous interconnected continent stretching across the globe. Entire civilizations vanish beneath permanent oceans. The people who survive look out from rooftops and skyscrapers waiting for the water to recede. But it never does. And that's when things change forever. At first, survival becomes a brutal lottery. If you can't swim, you're gone. If you're stranded far from the new coastlines, you're trapped. But while humans fight for survival, nature faces something even worse. Marine life experiences instant catastrophe. Fish, whales, sharks, dolphins, entire ecosystems collapse within hours. Vast ocean floors become graveyards filled with creatures that never had a chance. But here's the strange part. For scientists, the exposed seabed reveals a hidden world nobody has ever fully seen. Today, we know more about parts of Mars than we do about Earth's oceans. Thousands of species are still discovered every year beneath the waves. Suddenly, every secret is exposed. Unfortunately, most of those secrets are already dead. And this is where it gets even darker. Forests become underwater prisons. Lions, tigers, and countless land animals scramble into treetops trying to escape rising water. Some survive. Many don't. Entire ecosystems unravel in real time. But two groups absolutely thrive. Reptiles and insects. Crocodiles, turtles, and alligators adapt quickly because they already live between water and land. Meanwhile, insects inherit the planet. With trillions of decaying organisms everywhere, insects encounter the greatest feast in Earth's history. What happens next changes everything. Disease explodes. Mosquito populations skyrocket. Ancient illnesses return. And just when survivors think conditions can't get worse, civilization itself collapses. Electricity disappears. The internet vanishes. Power stations remain underwater forever. Elevators stop. Water pumps fail. Communication networks die. For the first time in modern history, humanity realizes how completely dependent it was on invisible systems. But that's still not the biggest challenge. Because surviving the first year is one thing. Surviving the new Earth is something else entirely. The real threat arrives slowly. And almost nobody sees it coming. Without massive oceans absorbing heat, Earth's temperature begins climbing. Fast. The planet loses one of its greatest climate stabilizers. Less water means less heat absorption. Less heat absorption means a hotter world. And this is where it gets weird. Rain becomes rare. Vast regions turn dry and hostile. The new supercontinent slowly transforms into a giant desert. Fresh water becomes more valuable than gold. Food becomes scarce. Humans survive on preserved fish, insects, and reptiles. Civilization doesn't rebuild. It evolves. But here's the twist that changes everything. The creatures most people fear become the foundation of survival. Crocodiles become food. Insects become protein. The old food chain disappears, and a new one emerges. Over generations, evolution takes over. With fewer plants producing oxygen, atmospheric oxygen levels begin falling. Species adapt or die. Mammals develop larger lungs. Bodies become smaller and more efficient. Even insects shrink as oxygen becomes harder to find. Earth slowly creates a completely different version of life. And after millions of years, the planet no longer resembles the world we know today. But somehow, humanity may still survive. History shows our species has recovered from near extinction before. Small groups endure. Communities rebuild. New civilizations rise from the ruins of the old world. Yet the most shocking realization isn't that humanity survives. It's that future humans might look back at our world the same way we look at Atlantis. A lost civilization swallowed by water. A memory. A legend. A mystery. And if an entire planet can transform this dramatically overnight, what other impossible changes might be waiting in Earth's future?